Good afternoon, this is Joe Krutsinger with our weekly update. Today we're going to talk about real-time Razor, a little bit about the details of the rules implied and also its performance record. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, you can contact my office directly and get a PDF for your files so you can read through this at your leisure. Otherwise, of course, it's all on the video. This is the simulation language. We won't be showing any simulated records today, but most presentations on e-track records are simulations, and as such you've got to be very careful about what you take from them. Today we're going to be talking about real time, so there's a second disclaimer. Again, to help clarify some terms, these are three terms I try to define at all my presentations. First of all, hypothetical or simulated. These mean the same thing. These are trades that have not been executed. They're generated by a strategy with the benefit of hindsight. Now, when you develop a strategy or when you retune it or recalibrate it, those results by nature are hypothetical or simulated. Now, the next step I like to do is a blind walk forward. That's where you don't change the settings and look and see how does it walk forward on unseen data. Every month I give you a report showing those blind walk forwards. We did that last week. And of course, the best results are real results. These are actual trades that have been filled in an exchange, and that's what we're going to focus on today, looking at my particular automated account. For those of you who don't know much about me, I am a full-time trading system developer. I started in futures in 1976, over 41 years ago. I have block number 1 of TradeStation. I was the first one outside of the company to use that software. I'm the author of 4 books on system trading. I've consulted with world-class traders, including Larry Williams, Bruce Babcock, and Jake Bernstein. I work for major trading institutions as well as individuals. My agenda is to level the field of automation for the little guy, the guy with 100,000 or less who has another job or wants to play golf or do other things besides sit and stare at the screen all day like I have for 41 years. I have 4 basic strategies that I sell. I sell them each individually for $1,497 in closed code. I sell them as a package, all 4 of them together for $24.97 or for $34.97 if you want open code on everything. If you buy just one system and that's all you need, that's wonderful. If you buy a system for $14.97, decide you want the other 3, you just pay the extra $1,000 and you get the other 3. I don't think you should be penalized for just buying what you want. But if you want all the clubs in your bag, I try to make you a pretty good deal on them. First of all, my newest system is bar none. It looks at 4 patterns with a day of week bias. It then confirms entry with a volatility breakout biased by a 5th pattern. This system has never been reverse engineered to my knowledge. The next system is shapes. It can be used as both an overnight swing strategy and as a day trading strategy. Shapes is counter trend. It works with gaps and subsequent breakouts contrary to those gaps. Razor is a time-based strategy with breakouts from quiet markets. It uses stops, trails, and a time-based exit. Ribbons adds something to Razor. It's a filter added to Razor that confirms the trade is in harmony with a band of 8 moving averages. Whenever we talk about real-time, we want to try to get the fastest real-time automation we can. Here's 4 little rules. First, never run optimizations on a real-time trading computer that has automation activated. In other words, if you've taken a strategy and turned the automation on, don't fool around with optimizations on that machine, because whatever's up in front is going to take over the computer power and those trades won't go in a timely manner. Also, turn off and unplug the computer at least once per week to clear the video memory of all terminate and stay resident style charts. In the old days, a lot of graphics were put in terminate stay resident memory, and TradeStation still has that capability of holding all that data. So the best way to clear that data, to my knowledge, is to unpower the computer. Don't just do a restart, but actually unplug the thing. Now also turn off all unnecessary indicators and close all unused desktops. I give an awful lot of work. I give you about 28 different workspaces on 4 or 5 different desktops. But if you're only using 1 or 2 charts, put them all on one desktop and only have that real time open. You can open up the other ones after the market or on the weekends, but when you're trading real time, have as little open as possible to let the machine run as fast as it can. And last of all, don't run any other programs other than TradeStation on a real-time automation computer. If your thing is turned out as a toaster, let the toaster toast. Don't try to use Word and Excel and looking at other software programs while you're running a TradeStation in automation mode. These 4 little rules should help you get much better fills with TradeStation. Well, here's the promised second disclaimer. This is my real-time disclaimer that shows just because this has happened in my account doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow or it will happen in your account. Real-time takes into consideration what data feed you're using, takes what computer and hardware you're using, and whether you leave it alone and let it trade in automation. So just take any record, whether it's simulated or real, with a grain of salt. Well, here's the summary for 3 months, 14 days, and 7 hours, basically 3.5 months. Made $3,070 after commission and slip. 50% of the trades were right. The average winner was $227. The average loser was $114. I try to use a very, very tight stop on all my systems, and on the YM you can especially get away with that. If you win half the time in a gambling game and your profits are twice the size of your losses, that's a pretty darn good game, and theoretically you should play it. This annual rate of return based on a $5,000 account is 164% annualized. The drawdown here is 826. If you take 826 into 3,000, it goes 3.71 times. Those are pretty good numbers. So anyway, that is where we are since April the 1st through today, July the 20th. Now here's 2 more statistical tables. One of them is a visual. It's the chart, and you could run an equity curve on there, and when it broke about trade 30, you could stand aside until it takes out that new high. I don't do that. I just take every trade. So the last 30 trades or so have been just kind of sideways. But that's what I like. I like a system that either makes money or goes sideways. Now if you look at the mark to the market at the top of the table, that shows you every week's participation. So far this week there have been 3 trades and it's made $12.80. Last week there were 5 trades and made $114.20. Take a look at the worst weeks. June 11th it lost $6.54. May 21st it lost $8.18. April the 30th lost $3.09. April the 2nd lost $102. Then you look at the best. You may have a 1,082. You have a 1319. You know, those are the 2 that stick out. There's an 837 there also. The bottom table shows what if you would have started at those certain dates. For instance, if you would have started on June the 11th, you would be down $10.40 now after 21 trades, basically that flat period. So that would basically be the worst place to start. The best place to start would have been on April the 9th, a week after I did, and you'd be up 31.72. So that's how to read that table and get a feel for what's happening. You see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing weeks in a period of 3.5 months. So those are the stats, and that's how you look at them. My main products are ideas, service, and support when you need it. All you need to do is go to eTrackRecords.com, go to the support tab, and follow the instructions. If you have problems, call me directly at 913-334-2202 and I'll walk you through it. But this lets me get on your machine, fix anything that's broken, install anything, put the new TSWs on, whatever you need. There's never a charge, no hourly rate. If you buy a system from me, I'm here to help you. Well, your next step is to call my office at 913-334-2202. I'll send you a TeamViewer 9 codes. You send them from me, actually, from the eTrack Records thing. And I'll install a free 14-day trial of Joe Krut Razor. If you want to email me directly, it's joekrut@gmail.com. And, of course, our website is www.etrackrecords, that's plural.com. Well, good luck and great trading. We'll see you next week with another video. Thanks for watching.